How much do you like reading?
This bunch.
From 1 to 10?
From 1 to 1,000.
This is about providing equity and access for all students and meeting kids where they are.
How are we going to reach all these students at the same time, because they are a range from the lowest readers to the highest readers. It's a huge difference.
I think one of the hardest things in the beginning of this kind of shift is really believing that your kids can do this.
We wanted to implement balanced literacy in our schools because we are building on the work we've done in the past with Writers Workshop, and now our teachers are ready to take it to the next level with Reading Workshop.
I think we know so much more now. We've had more training. We're more aligned with, there's actually standards now that we're aligning things with. It's more purposeful.
So one of the most important things to understand about balanced literacy is it's not a program. It's not a one-size-fits-all, but it's actually a philosophy.
There is nothing new about this. This is 100 years of reading research that tells us this is what we should do. If we want kids to be interested in reading, we should let them read what they want to read, give them choice.
It's like what we were doing 20 years ago, but better.
I felt like when we went into the balanced literacy workshops and I told my coworkers, I was like, it feels like we're going back to good teaching.
So with this new move to balanced literacy, what I'm finding is that we're able to actually reach every single child at the level where they're at and then build them up.
Change is very difficult for school systems to make, for people to make.
Going from a very, very scripted program to this is scary. It's intimidating.
But as we learned more about it, and as we decided we were going to take this one step at a time and we were all going to learn together, people became more comfortable about it.
None of this would have been possible without creating a culture where everyone feels safe to learn.
Our teachers know that it's okay to make mistakes, and it's okay this year that you're learning, and you're going to continue to make mistakes even next year and even 5 years from now, and that's okay. That's part of learning, and that's part of being a professional.
It's messy work. I don't know that I am doing it perfectly right now, but I feel like I am learning as fast as I can, and that I do get ideas how to do it better every time.
I transferred from absolute terror of balanced literacy at the beginning of the year to I can't do without it anymore. It's so ingrained in how I teach now. It's better for the kids.
And we owe it to each other to support and cheer each other on through that process.
You know, my role is new to the site. So as an instructional coach, I get to support the teachers side by side. I get to teach with them, I get to plan with them. I also provide observation and debrief in a non-evaluative way, but in a way to support the teachers and help them to grow and help our students to grow.
My coach here, Jason Green, is amazing. He is there when you need him, but he'll also back off and let you figure out what you need to figure out.
That's the joy of coaching, is we take everyone where you're at and we move you forward. And I think some of our folks are at different levels and they're ready to go a little bit farther in different places.
I am learning from master teachers. I'm learning from my colleagues.
Coaches Weekly has been really great. It's our weekly meeting as coaches that we all get together on a Monday and we get our own professional development and we are able to collaborate with each other.
We've redefined what it means to be a coach. And that a coach actually isn't the person who's supposed to always have all the answers, but it's a person who is really just the lead learner on the campus. The person who is creating this energy and this excitement and this buzz around learning and professional growth.
When I first began teaching here in PUSD, we were very much in a teacher-directed lesson. It was very much direct instruction, and balanced literacy has completely changed that in the sense that the directed portion of our teaching is now 15 to 20 minutes at maximum, leaving the rest of our instructional time for kids to practice the strategies that we've given.
My students love the portion of our literacy block where students have free choice for literacy activities, including reading and writing, and that gives the teacher an opportunity to work in small groups with students on their reading.
every day in every classroom. In our elementary schools, you'll see students working with a teacher in small groups in a guided reading group. You'll see students reading to themselves independently. You'll see students reading to each other, and you'll see students doing some writing work and perhaps some word work in the lower grades, K1 and 2.
Shifting into balanced literacy has allowed me to tailor each one of my students' educations so much more than in the past. Now I can recognize those needs, I can work to meet those needs, not only in my guided reading groups, but in their centers that they're at when I'm not with them.
The biggest difference is that because we're in a dual immersion program and a lot of our students are coming in without speaking Spanish, providing balanced literacy and providing all the different centers and the different grouping, it's helped to tailor their individualized assessments and being able to see the growth in that way.
One of the key elements of this kind of instruction is that kids have choice. They have choice in what they can read, and they have choice in what they can write. And then they have a knowledgeable teacher who guides them in that process.
The district-wide Balanced Literacy Initiative has really stretched me as a teacher. It's requiring a lot of cognitive planning and really focusing on the whole child, not just a tunnel vision of what I think teaching reading should be like, but all the different possibilities that can help a child to learn to read, and most importantly, to learn to enjoy reading.
One of the greatest things about walking through classrooms at Madison, or in the entire district, is kids reading and looking and getting excited. I mean, you go into a classroom and you see them and they are so into their books and they are so, I don't know, comfortable with what they're reading, and they're happy. They're happy to be doing it. And this is a total change from where we had kids who are in 3rd grade, who are in 4th grade, who are in 5th grade, and they would say, I hate to read. And now you go into a classroom and you see a teacher who stops and closes the book, and the entire class goes, oh no, because they're getting it. We're really instilling a love of reading.
So balanced literacy at the middle school level is at its infancy stage.
And we are preparing to build on the strong foundation that has been established at the elementary level.
Some seeds that we've planted so far is just creating a love for reading and writing.
By immersing them in real, authentic reading and writing, we're developing their 21st century skills, those critical thinking skills needed for college and career readiness. We'll be reading and writing for the rest of our lives, not just during 5th period.
Motivation is huge in moving our students forward. So once they fall in love with reading and writing all over again and realize that it opens a whole new world to what they want to do and what they want to become, then that's the work that PUSD wants to do.
One thing that really excites me about our site is all this talk about literacy across the curriculum has gotten our teachers thinking and realizing that literacy, reading, writing, speaking, listening, does not happen in isolation. It happens across content areas. This work cannot be done without resources. We need our coaches in place. We need a level book room. We need classroom libraries. Flood us with books, please. We are all responsible for teaching reading and writing and helping our students master those skills. It's not just the English teacher's responsibility anymore, it's all of ours.
It's not just a one-year thing, it's a long-term, this is how we're gonna teach now. I don't see next year going back to, oh, yeah, we'll just go back to the old way. I couldn't go back to the standard, same for everybody teaching.
I'm looking forward to becoming a better coach and to being able to really meet everyone's needs. I mean, I'm doing my best. I know there are areas that I need growth in, and I'm looking forward to that.
This is a process that is only going to get better. We've started it this year. There's so much more to learn, but in the very short time, we've learned the understanding of what a mini lesson is and what shared reading is and what a read alouds are supposed to look like and what guided reading is supposed to look like and what it looks like for a student to read to self. So now what we want to do is see how we can build upon that. And I think that this has been a great foundational year, but there's a lot more that we can do in the future years to make sure that we cement this new type of learning for our students.
Recently, I visited an elementary school where I met a teacher who came up to me and said this was her favorite year she's been teaching, and she's been here for 21 years. When I asked her why it was her favorite year, she said because she's seen all the growth in her children and how excited they are to read.
Balanced literacy is the best thing that has happened to me as a teacher, and I've been teaching over 21 years, and this is no joke, this is the first year that I feel like I'm an actual teacher. It's only impacted me in the most positive way, and my students, because I look back and I compare the years and I wonder to myself, what was I doing?
I love going into classrooms and watching kids read, and it's amazing to see the progress that they're making.
They're ready. They're where they need to be. They're ready for this next step.